Okay, everyone. This is the last episode of season 2 of Sector Thoughts. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but here we are, kind of set up to do it right now. I'm actually finishing getting set up, but let's just see. Got some cones in the sector here. Take those out. I'll grab a pallet. We'll get right on into this. So let's see. Since the last one of these I've done, I've been to U.S. Outdoor Nationals. By the time this gets posted, I'd have thrown at Power Fest, which is actually what I'm partially preparing for right now. But yeah, my season is pretty much over at this point in time. Looking back on it, it was a pretty good year through 2030 early on, which is what got me qualified. Then didn't really do too much better after that, but this is probably my best overall year, including indoor, that I've had in a few years. So very happy about that. Um, Definitely had some lessons that can be corrected on for next year, so I can do better. And there's a few things I want to continue to do as we move on into next year, but we'll get there. Oh, yeah, this sector definitely needs this done to it. So, because it's been a while, I didn't really look in the camera, but I'm not sure if you can tell, but there is definitely low spot right in here because it never gets properly taken care of, even after all the warnings I give people. So that's where our main focus is going to be today, is just moving stuff into there. I am pretty well set up right now. Not yet. So I just want to finish doing all this fun and fabulous stuff here. All right, that's tied off. Gloves are on. That's attached in there, and I want to swap the two around. And it's just going to be easier to do it this way. Gloves sometimes don't make things easier to do. Like right now. Almost there. I want to make sure I have my water today. It's pretty hot out. Pretty hot and humid out. All right. First drag. Pretty good. And then we'll just go right to about here. So basically for today's episode, really I'm not going to take too much time on stuff. Partially because I don't want my phone to die. But we're just going to drag this out a little bit. Definitely help. If you ever want a good, easy knee recovery thing to do, this. Even just doing it with a regular rake, it still helps. just walk backwards at a nice steady tempo. It doesn't have to be too quick. Just at a nice pace. There we go. Just at a nice pace, almost kind of dragging it along. But yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything I really want to talk about. If there's any like random thoughts I've had recently. Oh, here's one. Came up in training the past couple of weeks in preparation for outdoor nationals. And me and best buddy T sort of had a little disagreement on this yesterday. No, Sunday. It was the other day. And that was, noise, right? So the Sunday before we went to nationals, Jumbo was up. Well, down technically. Jumbo put on some stadium noise. And that irked T a little bit. And I get why T was bothered by it. I do. But then that'll lead me to my whole point with it. He claimed because he doesn't train that way, because we don't really do stadium noise when we train a whole lot. It kind of bothers him. And that almost makes you think a little bit about when you do throw and what are you exactly listening to when you throw, right? Like, do you have music? Do you not have music? Are you doing crowd noise? What type of music are you listening to? Like me, I could care less, right? At the end of the day, you got to throw far in all types of conditions. No matter how loud stuff is or whatever it is, you have to throw far. That's the base. That's the whole point. But personally, if there's going to be music on, I prefer for it to be something I'm going to hear in the stadium, right? Like, I'm not going to hear deep, hard rap in the stadium, most likely. Especially at a meet like that where it's getting broadcasted on television. And I'll never forget, while we were there at the meet, I think it was the day before we threw on Saturday, they actually were playing Hey There Delilah. And that's the only song that I can strictly remember, because people were actually surprised that got played at a meet like this. And not that it's a bad song or anything, it's just, it is one of those sort of things that's like, you do not expect to hear Hey There Delilah getting played at a meet like this. So that just goes to show you, look, they can play anything they want as long as it's clean. So that's where I always go, hey, I just want to practice to something that I'm going to hear in a stadium. That's my preference. Don't get me wrong, I might not always play that. Like, I might put on some classic rock, or I might put on some rap. But my most preference is going to probably be like 2010s hits or like house music or remixes, only because that's the sort of stuff I'm going to hear when I go to big meets. They're more than likely to play clean music than they are anything else. So my rule of thumb, if I'm going to hear it on the radio, probably going to hear it in the stadium. So almost keep that in mind as you're practicing and training and trying to figure out what type of music to put on. That most certainly can play a factor into performance sometimes. So personally, like I said, if I'm going to put music on, I want it to be something I might hear in the meet. So something a little more clean than anything. I also say as long as it has a beat, I'm good, because the beat is what really changes you. Because there is actually a science to it. And if you ever get bored, look it up. There is a science to how DJs can control a crowd based on the beats per minute of a song. And some of that stuff gets pretty fascinating. And that is sometimes when I go in, I do my meet playlists every year. I do actually look at sometimes I look at what is the beats per minute? Like, how do I feel about this song? Trying to get my heart rate going, to pump blood more through my body, to get myself warmed up better. Because that is a very important thing that some people don't quite realize, especially when you're in high school. Like, it was something I didn't really learn until I was in college. I just saw a random clip about it. I think it was from a Zac Efron movie, actually. But then I looked into it a little bit more, and I kind of saw what and all is in it. And a lot of people already listen to that type of stuff. Like, a lot of it is hip hop, right? But yeah, if you ever get bored and you just want to look something up, look that up in particular, because it does get pretty fascinating and it can change how you want the type of music you want to play and how you want to play it and when you want to play it. So yeah, that was kind of the topic, the major thing that has been discussed in our group in training recently. Not that we're really training right now, season is pretty much over. So yeah, I guess I'll discuss some of my future plans here going forward. I am going on vacation next week right after Power Fest. This will be my first vacation in 7 years, so I'm actually pretty excited about this. Uh, yeah. So, yeah, Power Fest is on Friday. Pretty much shutting down right after that. Go on vacation. Haven't really talked to Dane. I told Dane we can talk a little bit more about how the season went and the next season going forward, what we want it to look like and everything. Discuss some training, some training, what I can improve on, what I did well. Told him, well, we can talk about it when I get back from vacation, because we have yet to talk about it, but we will. But yeah, so some future things here. Probably won't really start training again until after Labor Day, and even then, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing. This is kind of because in shot put, we don't have anything going forward into September. There's nothing to train for after nationals. So like after nationals, we're pretty much all done. Now it's more we just kind of go and get some rest, take it easier. I'm just kind of looking at where I want to move some of this stuff to. So I'm getting close to the edge here. Okay, go one more run this way. I might shift my angle a little bit then. But some other things going on. I do have a new idea for a new shirt, which if you don't already know, not an athlete, this shirt is available on my website, jeffthethrower.com. So go there, check it out. Get one for yourself. But I do have a new idea for at least one shirt. I might do it for 2 shirts. So look out for that. That should be coming up pretty shortly. I'll start doing some work on that when I get back from vacation. And then the other thing that I'm slowly working on making is coaching. I will be offering online coaching moving forward. Once again, should be an announcement about that after I get back from vacation. So in 2 weeks, more than likely, a week or 2 here, I will announce that. My plan for it will be throwing only. That will be my plan. I will do your technique in the ring only. Right now, I'm only going to do shot put and discus. If you're a javelin or hammer thrower, reach out. I might be willing to. Obviously, I'm going to stick with what I know, and that's shot put and discus. So right now, I pretty much have what I want to do already. I'm just trying to record some drills so I have those to offer to you all right away. But basically what I'm going to do, and I'll put this in here, so when I go back, and I want to use this as marketing, I already have it recorded. What my plan is to, once again, do throwing only. So I can give you a whole week's layout, 4-week layout of what you're going to do. Basically, included in it, minimum you're going to do is 3 days. 1 day hard, 1 day moderate throwing where you're going to do a decent range day, then 1 technique day. Preferably, I'd like for you to do 4 to 5 days of throwing, but I know not everyone can, especially right now as we get into some of these other sports seasons. Some of you have football, some of you are even soccer players, or you do another sport, so you can't always throw every day, which is fine. Trust me, I was in that boat. When I was in high school, I played golf, so I get it. Yeah, so I'll give you what you're going to do, how many throws you should take, what drills you should do, and I'll give you an analysis every single week of what to focus on. So I'm working on setting all that up right now, but I am excited to be offering that for everyone moving forward. So I'm going to do one more run here, and then I will say goodbye to you all until the next season, season 3. So with that being said, I am looking for content ideas, whether it's for Instagram or YouTube or both. Let me know. Just comment, DM me, whatever you want to do. I am looking for new ideas of what I can do. In particular, I'm looking on for YouTube for long form stuff. I do want to do more lifting for you guys, more lifting videos, some more throwing videos. If there's any other type of content that you all want, just let me know. Always open for new ideas and new suggestions. So pull this back. As I do, we will say farewell to season 2 and look out for season 3. I might start it sooner than March this year. I might start it in September, might start it in October. Really depends. But thank you all for watching. As always, remember to like and subscribe. Go to jeffthrower.com, get a shirt. Check out what I have over there. And I will see you all next time.